For whoever just joined, welcome. My name is Federica. I'm part of the DocCity team, and it's my pleasure to welcoming you all to this live webinar of Marconi International University. Just before leaving the floor to our speaker today, just wanted to remind you all that we have a dedicated time for all your questions, which will be at the end of the presentation. So we invite you to write all of the questions that you might have into the Q&A section that you find in your Zoom window, and we will be answering at the end of the presentation. It's now my pleasure to leave the floor to Marisol Salcedo. She is the Academic Director at Marconi International University. Thank you.
Thank you, Federica, for the introduction. And thank you, everybody, for joining us from broadcasting from Miami, Florida, currently. It's very good to see many people from different countries joining this live session and to learn a little bit about what is the necessary steps for you if you want to enroll in an educational institution that is located here in Florida or the United States. So I hope that by the end of this webinar, you can have all the information necessary to look and search the specific university that is the perfect fit for you and for your needs. So I'm going to start now. I'm going to let you know a little bit about my background. I'm originally from Peru, and I came here to the States in 2012. My main background is education. I studied educational psychology. Then I did my master here in the States, human resources management. And then I also did my doctorate here, specifically in leadership education. So I have my undergraduate in South America and my graduate studies here in the States. So I know everything about what to look when you're choosing a university if you come from a different country besides the States. And also, I have more than 20 years of experience helping students to find their educational pathway. I work since 2012 in the higher education environment here in the States, and mainly I was able to coach students, international students from Colombia, from Paraguay, Mexico, Ecuador, to choose a university here in the States. So I hope that I can share a little bit of my knowledge and experience. And if you join MIU, it will be great because I'm the academic director and will be the responsible of your studies, your learning pathway. But if not, I hope that by the end of this webinar, you have the necessary knowledge and tools to recognize what are the key factors when choosing an international university here in the States. So let's begin. So main question, and most of you already may have the answer of why study in the United States? What are the main reasons why a person chooses to have their graduate or maybe their undergraduate studies here in the USA? And I want to share some data or some facts of why here we can say it's located the best education in the world. Main reason, most of our college or graduate students or college students earn more than if you do not have a graduate or bachelor program compared to those that only have a high school. So 66% more of income is one reason of why to study. Also, it's been count as an average that people who have a graduate course or post-secondary studies earn more than 1 million more of those compared that did not follow any post-secondary study. But the satisfaction rate, it's very impressive. When you ask a person who study here in the States, they could say that 90% of them, they say that education here in the States leads to a good job and a better life. So the satisfaction rate It's very important when you choose a career, when you choose a program. Currently, you may be looking around. The internet is amazing right now. You can look every university from your home. You can look their programs. You can look the tuition rate. You can look the scholarship and everything. But the main question remains, why do you choose that university, and why do you choose to study in the United States? The main reason is that accordingly to our higher education at the Department of Education numbers, people who study in the United States, they feel that they earn back their money. So they are satisfied with their studies. So that's very important. If you're going to invest something, you're going to see that you want to be happy with the certificate, with the program that you chose. So that's very important. And in my experience as well, I can say that studying here gives you a better life in the sense that you have a good job and that you can earn money that feels comfortable to you. As I was saying, and I always relate to my experience and the experience that I have seen during this more than 20 years, it's that when you come from a different country, yes, you can have the experience, the professional experience, you can have different certificates, but they're gonna ask you if you wanna maybe come here to the United States to live, to have a practical training, a job experience. They're gonna ask you, where did you study? And that's the main question. They wanna validate that your experience is backed up with a degree. And it's better if you have a USA degree. So that was my experience. And I can say that when I arrived here, I had more than 10 years of experience, and I had a bachelor's degree on one of the most prestigious universities in Peru. But I didn't have any USA degree. So when I chose to do this, my life completely changed, and I chose wisely. And to be honest, I'm a graduate from the MIU graduate program with a doctorate degree. So I can say that I'm an example of one of the graduates of this university, but also I can tell you that it's true. It's when you study and when you invest in education, you can have a better life. Also, I don't have that data here, but if you have a graduate study or a post-secondary study in a USA university, it's your chances when there is like a job restriction opening, they are not opening many jobs, you're gonna, or they are firing people from the company, it's less likely that you're gonna get released from your work if you have a study that is like backup, especially if that's an international study or if that's a USA degree. That's what we were looking around last year when we had this pandemic going on, and we were looking into the numbers. And the more education you have and the more education you obtain, it's better for your chances to be employed or not unemployed compared to those that do not have that. So that's my main reason. I am always advocate for studies linking to a better life and to a good life. So what is the key answer? The key answer is money-wise, you want to study in a good country, you want to study a degree for your return of your educational investment. And those of you who have financial knowledge know that ROI, your return of investment, is a key factor when you invest money. And you're going to invest money in your degree. So now is the time to see where are you going to invest your money. You're going to invest your money maybe in another country, maybe in another university. So you want to have the knowledge and the tools of why you are putting your money, your time, and your dreams in this program or this university. So I hope to give you the knowledge and the reason why I do believe that this educational program that we are offering at MIU is a good fit. So how to choose a university. And remember, I used to be a counselor for international students when they were looking different universities, especially here universities in the state, because I used to work in the other universities here in Florida. So when I was doing some presentations in Paraguay, I was in Mexico as well, I was in Colombia as well, in Peru, in different parts of the world, I always told parents, young people that were looking for a bachelor, or even professionals that were looking for a graduate program, how to choose a university. And I put my hat of educational psychology and I guide them. And I say, there's 3 main factors that studies all over the world across time have identified that a good university must have in order to be successful. There are 3 indicators that are going to say, yes, if you meet those 3 components, there is a good chance that you are going to be successful, that you're going to finish your studies, and you're going to have a promising career. Remember that only 60% of students graduate from a program, especially for a 4-year program. So what are the characteristics or those 60% of students that finally graduate and are successful? These are the 3 factors. And I have an entire presentation only about these key success factors in higher education. I used to do this presentation a lot, but now and today, since we have short amount of time, I'm going to share this briefly. Okay, and I'm going to focus on the university system, but I'm going to give you a little hint about the other 2. First of all, personal traits. You must be sure of the career you're choosing. You must be sure and confident that you are going to be able to finalize your studies. Be aware that you have to choose wisely. And I always give an exercise to my students, and I always say, what are the skills that you have that are a good fit to the program? Do you have those skills? Do you want to develop those skills? And what is the job market looking for? So that's a very good part that you must answer yourself and you must analyze. But the key success here is confidence. You must be confident that you're going to be able to finalize those studies. The second component is community. You need to network. You need to have the support system that is going to allow you to study for 4 or 2 years. You have to be committed to this, but your surroundings must be committed to this. If you're going to come here and you're going to study here in the United States with MIU, perfect. We have some networking events. As you know, we are reopening. Everything is going back to normal. And we help our students to network and to build those relationships with the community. But also, if you're studying online, we do a lot of job fairs. We do a lot of events where we invite community speakers to speak about their experience. But also, it's very important that you attend and you are participating. And even I recommend my students to have the personal business card. So everywhere that you go, you are handling business card with important information. You have your updated LinkedIn profile, not your Facebook, nor Instagram. LinkedIn is the key part of you when you are starting your community relationships. So personal traits and community relationships. And finally, but most important, is the university system. And this is a part where I'm gonna get into a little bit deep, because this is where I wanna see what are the characteristics of MIU, Marconi International University, and why I think it's a good fit for students who want to reach a quality of education with an accessible price. So the university system means the educational model, the faculty, the support system, and how well that university provides the services needed for students to complete their studying. It's 4 years for a bachelor and it's 2 years for a master program. So the university must have a system that supports the student during that time frame. And MIU has that. The university system must have an educational model that is current and that helps and promotes the student experience, where the student is the center of the system and every service is related to the satisfaction of the student. So that's a key component, where as a system that you are not a number, that you are, we know your name, we know who you are, we know what are your needs, your dreams, why you enrolled to the university. That's why what you should be looking. So every time that you look into university, ask, do you have advisors? Do you have academic advisors? Do you have a tutoring system? And if that's online, what is your help desk looks like? What is your response rate? Those questions are very important because once you are in the program, you want to stay and finish the program. And it's going to be only going to be able if you have this support system provided by university. Academic, IT, if you are in a online environment, but also the tutoring system and the student service system that the university provides. Ask for those services. Ask the university if they have those services. That's very important. So we do have that. And I want to introduce the university where I'm the academic director, Marconi International University. You see this picture? This is a very beautiful picture of downtown Miami at night. I work there. So one of those buildings on the 7th floor is located Marconi International University. So we do have a campus in Miami, and we are located in the center of the entire Miami, where everything happens, where the business world happens and everything goes well. So this is very important, okay? So, but since I'm looking and sharing this picture with you, I wanna share who we are. But imagine you're walking around this beautiful city where you have everything business related, the beach nearby, and the experience to be a student, an international student there, or also be able to be an online student and come and see your university that is located here in downtown Miami. Who we are, that's also very important. We are not a standalone university. We are a university that is accredited, licensed by the Department of Education, and also we do have international visas. We have F1 visas, and hopefully we're applying for J1 visas. What does that mean? That means that we are a formal accredited university located in the United States, that it's not only allowed to give these educational services, but also USCIS, as you know, this is a very important immigration system, gave us the opportunity to have F1 visas. So we have that, backup. And also in 2019, Marconi joins the Produca team. Who is the Produca team? It's a very important corporation that has an important online presence, okay? So they are located in Mexico, in Ecuador, in Colombia, in Peru, and in 2019, Marconi joins Produca. So we are, as I was saying, we are not a standalone university. We have a main and a big educational corporation behind us that give us the support, the knowledge, and all the experience that they do have in online education. So as you know, we have UNIR Mexico, UNIR Spain, CUNIMAD Spain, Newman, that's also a new university that joined in Peru. Colombia, we have Fundación Internacional de La Rioja in Colombia, and we have Marconi International University in USA. Also, we have scholarships. We have scholarships, and we have the AOS, the Organization of American States scholarship up to 60%. It's information that you're going to have by the end of this presentation, but it's also an opportunity because we do believe that education should be accessible to everyone. That's one of the main factors why I joined this group this year. And because I saw the difference and I saw the quality of education that they are providing, we are providing. And I said, yes, that's where I wanna work. And that's where I wanna start promoting that you can have an affordable education with quality. That's a key factor. Also, Produca has more than 1,000 professors. 85% of them are PhD, the final terminal degree. 40% of them are accredited, meaning that they have a degree that is valid by the Department of Education in Spain as a different system. We have more than 34,000 students all around the world. We have around 500 students currently in MIU, between on campus and online. And we have more than 3,000 staff members working all around the world. So as you can see, we are a big corporation. What are the strengths of who we are? We have international faculty. We have one of the best educational systems in the world. We have a campus. That's very important. Most of the time when you join an online university, you have to ask, do you have a campus? Do you have only an office, or that's an actual campus? You can visit us. We are on downtown Miami, 7th floor. You can have you're gonna see on our website the address, and you can come by, and most of the times there, you can meet your faculty, you can meet your professor. We still have hybrid classes currently since the spring of this year. So we are open and we are functioning in a hybrid model since the pandemic hit, right? But hopefully we're gonna restart fully online, fully on campus classes. Programs are offered in English and also in Spanish. And we have one of the most innovative virtual learning environments that I can see. And it's honest, we use one of the most user-friendly LMS, learning management system platforms for students that are very good. We are on top of you. I can have access to all the classes and I can monitor every student. I can monitor the faculty and can monitor everybody. So it's very friendly. The student is very accompanied through the entire course, through the entire program. Multicultural learning environment. As we can see, we have different persons from different parts of the world, not only on the online environment, but also on campus. We have different students coming from different parts of the world. We all speak English because that's the only language that we can that we have in common. And we have a student care, meaning that you have a student service director that is going to be looking for you. You have a tutoring system that is going to be monitoring you. We have a system that manages faculty. So we have reports of, okay, this professor is not doing this correctly. Oh, we talk to the professor. The students are complaining for this. We talk to that. We address that the same week you file any complaint. It can be the professor login 5 minutes late. We receive that report. Or you can praise a professor. We also have thought this professor is amazing. The experience that he or she has, it's relatable to the topic that we are learning. That's good. So we can have that professor again, and we can have those type of professor giving our courses. So the good and the bad, we receive a report every week of your progress if you're a student of MIU, and also of the side of our faculty. So that's one of the main things that make us different. The support system that the student has is unique and it's very, very good. President Pablo Cardona, very good. He comes from UCLA, University of California, very well known here in the United States. I'm the academic director, and we have a student service also that we have is Sara Forteza. Mentioning, we have live online classes, your own personal tutor. If you join us online, you are gonna have your tutor by course. They are gonna give you phone calls, video, messages if you are not following the classes. You're going to have your learning resources available to you. And this is a key part. Every university that I have worked with, they ask the student to buy an additional book. They're going to ask you to buy an $150 book for every class. So imagine 5 classes, that's a lot of money. In MIU, you have all the resources available in one click. Everything is in your platform, in your student platform, so you don't have to invest any additional money but your tuition. Your login and everything, your master classes, your lectures, your evaluation, everything is there. You will only have to log in and start your classes. And you have synchronous classes, live session with your professors that are recorded if you cannot join, and you have master classes recorded with a special a professional that has a specialty in that topic. So you have everything available in your platform. So we do believe that we are forming and we are taking into our classrooms future leaders of the world. We have access to cases from Harvard Business Review magazine. We have simulation classes. We do have a business plan by the end of the program. You will be able to have your own business plan. We have very good mentors by the end of the program where you present your capstone and part of the jurors or the committee that is going to evaluate your final project. We do use new technologies. We have everything that you will need to have to access, and we have everything that you will need. Your platform, it's very friendly, it's user friendly, and we also have, because we also have a Master of Science in Educational Leadership and Manager and Emerging Technologies. So what are the academic programs that we have? That's the part. So I talk about the educational model, why you have to choose an USA degree, why MIU is different from any other university that I have worked here in the States. Currently, we have these 4 programs. We have the Bachelor in Science of Business Administration. We have the Bachelor of Computer Engineer. Those are 4-year programs, very demanding, very trending. We are currently updating the whole courses for the bachelors. So that's gonna meet the trends of current job trends. And we have the MBA. Also, every 2 years, every year we review the entire curriculum, and the Master of Science in Educational Leadership, Management, and Emerging Technologies. These 4 programs are the ones that we are currently offering, but we are also adding more programs next year. We're adding the Master of Science in Art Management, and we are even adding an associate that is in Cosmetology Management. Very trendy currently in Miami because we have the design district, we have arts, we have a lot of creativity, but we want to add a component of management. So those new programs are going to be added next year. So that's the part that I hope I can be adding, and I can spark a little bit of your interest on MIU. How and when to apply to MIU? Basically, you can take a screenshot to this. These are the main documents that your advisor, that's very important. Your advisor is going to walk you through the entire process of admission, either if you want to be online or on campus, English or Spanish. They are going to walk you through the entire admission process. So they're going to send you the list of the fees involved, the document that you're going to have to submit. And it's very fast, it's very easy. Currently, we have seen a backlog on visa process for the F1, but more consulates are opening and the process is fast forwarding. Hopefully, we're going to see more a fast process for those type of visa by the next year. And I kindly invite you to contact us. I'm going to share with you the email for our information, so you can be assigned to an advisor. Dates for September 7th, and then next year we start on January the 10th. So those are the next few upcoming dates for our 4 programs that I just mentioned. And this is where you should email and you should ask all the questions that you need in related to the admission process. It's info@miuniversity.edu. Please take a picture, a screenshot this. This is a very important email that you want to have if you want to start the process, or even if you want to have more questions related to the scholarship, more questions related to the admission process, anything. I'm the academic director. Also, you can write me to m.salcedo@miuniversity.edu, and I kindly answer any question related to the academic part. So to finalize this presentation and start the question, the Q&A, main key factors. Remember, university support system. That's the key factor, especially if you're going to be here online and even on campus. If you're going to have an F1 visa, it's very important that you ask what is the support system that the university has. At MIU, we have, as you can see, you are going to have a pool of different departments working with you and for you to finalize your study and be successful in your area and your specialty area. So I hope that you can have the knowledge to analyze which is the best educational offer for you. And remember that in Marconi or MIU, we do believe that a high quality of education should be affordable to all of our students. So please ask about the scholarship. Please ask about our available scholarship for the next upcoming semester. So this is the part where I stop sharing and we can see some of the Q&A.
Thank you. I really like to thank Marisol for the presentation and all of you for your question. Actually, while you were presenting, we received lots of questions, which is great. Keep writing them. So first question, we received a few questions about scholarship. So you were very clear in your presentation, but we have a few questions about what are the qualifications for OAS scholarship and for graduate and master students, and what is the scholarship covering?
Okay, mainly the scholarship covers everything related to the tuition. I highly advise, since it's an individual process, to go to and write to info@miuniversity.edu, because you're going to be assigned to an advisor, and that advisor is going to work with you to submit your documents to the committee, the scholarship committee that is going to approve that. But as far as I can say, it's related to your tuition up to 60% if you qualify. That's very important. So please, and they have spots available for different type of scholarships. So it's very important for you, if you want to start in September or January, to write to that email so they can assign you an advisor and he or she is going to work with you.
Perfect. So you see there are different types of scholarships. One of the questions from Ignacio is actually if one of the let's say requirement to receive a scholarship could be, for example, let's say for sports merit.
It could be related. It could be related because as university and as American University also, we look forward for sports. So it's one thing that we like to have.
Perfect. This is great. So Ignacio, put your application through and get to know more about the scholarship. Absolutely. Maria is asking us if there is an interview to pass in order to get admitted, and if there is one, what will be asked?
Okay, that's very good. Yes. The advisor is going to have the interview. They're going to ask you, why do you want to study here? Especially if you want to have the F1 visa. Yes, we're going to know why you want to study with us. If you want to be online, mainly, why do you want to study with us? That's the main reason, especially if you're going to apply to a scholarship. If they do require an essay, I always give, since I cannot be part of the committee, but I used to be part of the committee for a different university. I was part of the committee for a scholarship application process. And I always give now the advice, we accept a scholarship application when they say specifically what they are going to give back to the community. Once you earn your degree, what if you're going to go back to your country, what are you going to do with that? You're going to stay here in the state, what are you going to do with your degree? And we always like to see what are you going to go back, give back to your community. That's the key answer.
Thank you, Marisol. Questions about the method. So also very much related question to the situation we're facing nowadays. So Anna Cristina is actually asking if there are face-to-face classes. So if you are back into face-to-face classes, and Teofilo is asking if the master are totally in English.
Perfect, amazing question. Yes, we are partially going back to the university. So currently students with an on campus that they register here on campus to comply with the immigration and on the F1 visa, they have to come at least one full course on campus, usually it's a Tuesday mainly, and then a hybrid one. And then the remaining two courses are online. That's currently summer. But we are looking forward to September and January to be adding more full face-to-face classes. Of course, following all the accommodation that we have done in every class. I go to work from almost every day to the university. So yes, we are slowly going back, but we do have courses. And the other question was related to?
If everything is in English, if the masters.
On campus, yes. On campus, everything is in English, but online we do have two versions. One is on English, or one is, you can choose to have the entire program in Spanish.
Perfect. So another question will be about if you actually have some career service. So you mentioned about a lot of services for students. And if you actually help students to get a job after graduating.
Yes, it's very important. If you are an international student, you have the opportunity to do an OPT, this optional practical training. And since the moment you are on the list of candidates to graduate, the placement department starts working with you to know the qualification, to know how to build a resume, to know how to do an interview. We cannot guarantee a job. That's by law, I have to say that we cannot guarantee a job position, but we do work closely with our students. Why? It's also a key factor that you have to ask every university. What is your placement rate? Because we want our students to be placed on field, meaning that you study the bachelor in business. We want to see you working in a related field. So yes, we do have services, but that's only for placement. But from the beginning, you're going to be assigned a tutor. So we are going to be working with you since semester 1. And that's the main reason that I think this university is very different to another one, because they walk with you and we walk with you the entire process, the 2 years or the 4 years.
Perfect. They asked us if the university accreditation will be recognized in every state, if actually then they can decide to go back and work and spend the degree in their countries, if it will be valid.
That will depend in each country. We work with the students. That's our service do not finalize. Currently, I think we're working with a student specifically. I don't remember the country, but that student is a graduate from, I think, 1 year ago. We are working with him with every document their Ministry of Education is asking to recognize that degree. Because remember, every degree and foreign degree, each country has their rules. Many of them, they request that the graduate goes and register that degree in the Department of Education. So every country is gonna give you a list of documents that you have to submit in order to be registered in their list. So we help the students. They always send out, oh, I need this, and I need additional documents, and we work with the students. So we're gonna help you to have that information.
Perfect. So in particular, they're talking about Master in Design Management. So they're asking us if for this program you provide some sort of internship, and if you can name some of the companies that you collaborate. So maybe if you want to talk about in general about the internship process and companies that you are in contact with.
Okay, that's a very good question as well, because I want to emphasize that currently the Master in Design do not have an internship by itself, because an internship is an academic component here in the States. So meaning that you will have to have credits assigned. And when we design the program, we put a lot of effort in the management and also in the design part. But after, if you are an international student, after those a year and a half, 16 months that the Master in Design Management is lasts, we do help the student to have the 1 year, that's the OPT, the optional practical training, to practice. And we are currently working, there's an entire department, but for Ms. Villalobos, who is the person, the director of placement, who is working currently with companies on the design district, because we are in downtown Miami. So next to us is Miami Design District. It's 20 minutes away, where everything, Wynwood area that is currently so trendy right now, is very close by, 15 minutes driveway. So we are working, it's a very new program, just got the accreditation, just got back in like 3 months, but we are launching it. So yes, currently I do not have a list, but I know that we are working very hard to have a list. But it's not an internship. We do not have an internship as part of the program. We have the OPT for those international students that can apply after the end of the program.
Thank you, Marisol. We have a question from Monique asking, how long does it take to find out if you're qualified for scholarship? So maybe it will be good to give some sort of timeline about to know if a scholarship will be given, but also if someone gets admitted.
Oh, that's perfect. Usually we try to answer about transfer credits, about anything. If you submit your documentation, and that's very important. If you submit every document that the advisor requests to you, for example, let's say transfer credit, you want to transfer credits, that goes directly to me, and I have 24 hours to respond to the advisor, because we want to give a fast answer to the student. So also the committee is like 1 week. Every week the committee joins and see and review, and it will depend if you submit all the documentation that the advisor requested for you about the scholarship.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So Monique, you've heard 24 hours. So, you know, the team is at your disposal. So any sort of question,
yes.
Definitely don't hesitate. And this is just a general advice to feel like giving. So in case you have any question and maybe didn't have time to answer during the presentation, feel free to reach out to the team. As you can see, Marisol here, she's available to answer all the questions that you might have. So feel free. We will be sending you an email after these events. So don't forget to reach out to the team and ask any sort of question that might be useful for you. Michael, questions about, do you have any photographs of the campus? So you were showing us about downtown Miami, and it was beautiful, the slides where you show where the campus is. Is there maybe on the website some picture where they can just browse and see how it looks like?
We are working that. It was very interesting because last month we did like a video of the whole new campus. We did testimonials. So stay tuned to our website. Because we're going to be launching not only how the classroom looks like now that they're accommodated from the pandemic, it's very innovative. It's very a beautiful campus, to be honest. It's very trendy. And you're going to also see testimonials for real students that are from different parts of the world. You're going to see professors talking about the university. So stay tuned to our website, and you're going to be able to see that very soon. We are editing that part. So hopefully it's going to be launched during this month.
Perfect. We have a very specific question about the Master of Science in Educational Leadership Management, asking who will be teaching. So I guess probably the question is if it's only teachers or maybe from the academic world, also professional, and they're asking us if the curriculum will be based on the USA legislation or something else.
That's a very good question. we try to look for professionals on the field. We try to have professors that have experience teaching higher education, but we look for professionals that actually have work on the field. We have previous director from very prestigious school districts teaching that. So you do have administrators that work for here from the United States educational system. We do have professionals that also have the doctoral degree here in the States. So we have professionals who have the experience and have the knowledge on how to teach. You will have an international overview. Why our Master in Education is different? Yes, you will have legislation accordingly to the USA, but we do not stay only there. We add components from South America, we add components from Europe. Why? Because we recognize that our population comes from different part of the world. So the cases can be from different areas. So yes, you will be studying a Master in Education here in the States, but with an international overview. And who will teach that? Very, very good. We have Dr. Stan Johnson, Dr. Chelly Serra, who also has brought different books about education. You have and that's my job currently, to recruit qualified professors that are very good on what they do, and they like teaching online and on campus.
Thank you. Another question is about, so we did mention about how important it is to apply on time with the right document for scholarship, but they're asking us if we can share a link so they can apply directly for the scholarship, and also they're asking us if we can share a link to the website.
Okay, perfect. Yes.
Perfect. So while Marisol is actually copying the link and pasting into the chat, just wanted to thank you all for staying connected and keep writing your questions. So we still have some time together today. So we try to go through all of the questions that you are you're writing. So this is great. And Marisol is just about to copy the link. So this will be the link for the university. There we are. Perfect.
Yes, and please write to this email. It's very important that you so you can also hear, this is the part from on the website that you can where you can fill your information, and also you can write to info@.
Perfect.
And this is my email. If you have any other question related to the programs.
Perfect. So you have now all the possibility link, but don't worry, because we will be also sending you an email right after the event, so you will be able to get some extra information. So one of the questions they're asking us is about if you offer work and study programs.
Currently, we do not offer work and study programs, but soon we are on the process of applying to J1 visas, which will allow us to do that. That's a very, very good big program, academic program with a specific visa, and hopefully we can have an answer for the Department of Immigration and approve that. Yeah, hopefully.
Perfect. Another question, it will be about fee for international students. So Stacy is asking us if, in this case, there is any difference between local and international students in terms of the fee.
The main difference is going to be online and on campus. That's the main difference. So your advisor will guide you on that. If you write to info@miuniversity.edu, you will have that answer specific to your case. Remember that scholarships are going to be specific to your case. And based on tuition, yes, if you come on campus, yes, we do have a different tuition rate for local students and international students that are in-state or out-of-state students. That's something that we do have here if you study here on campus, but all that information should be available with your advisor.
Perfect. We already answered this question, but maybe someone connected later. So they're asking us how soon they will be informed if their application was successful for the scholarship.
Yes. If anything is related to academic part, 24 hours, because that's on my end. And every week the scholarship committee meets. So the latest in 1 week, you should be able to know that if your scholarship was approved, but under the condition that you apply and you submitted everything that they are requesting.
This actually leads me to ask you a question. I mean, you are working with a lot of prospects, and you probably can see a lot of application coming through. So is there any sort of tips or advice that you feel like giving to someone who is intended to submit an application, or maybe the common mistakes that you see in application every day?
That's a very good question, Federica. Yes, it's first, do a checklist. Don't think that you are like just writing that in your mind when you submit your file. Do a checklist. If you can print that, perfect. I know that we are in the digital era, but a checklist where you check every document that you are submitting, it's very important. Why? Because a signature is missing, maybe a document is missing. Be sure that read signed documents. So, okay, go to your document, sign the document. Okay, review what you're like. If they are giving you 10 documents that you have to submit, please read carefully what you're asking. Why? Because in many cases, the application delays because the student did not submit all the documents, or if they submitted without their signature or without the initial. So list, print the checklist and do the check. Go through the checklist and review your package and do the check. Most of the applications are done through the website, through a link that they are going to provide you, but there are some applications that you do have to provide their document that you will have to send maybe the transcript, the official transcript. Remember, that's very important. So please do the checklist. That's, I think, the most common mistake, the checklist.
Thank you. This is very useful. So everyone is listening, make sure that you remember this advice whenever you're about to put through an application. And I would just probably add, don't miss the deadline. You know, sometimes you think about, oh, I still have time to apply. I always think the sooner the better. So definitely check the deadlines and timeline. Another question, very interesting. They're asking us the goal of Marconi University, and they also I would like to ask, what sort of students are you looking for?
That's perfect. The goal of Marconi University is to be honest, to be the bridge for the entire corporation. We do have a corporation that is a strong one. We are the new addition to the corporation, so we want to provide a very innovative, quality educational model, affordable to the students. So that's our main focus. Entering to the United States, a competitive market, it's very hard. So right now we are on the market, and one of our main goals is to give the corporation a quality and affordable component and a differentiator of the whole product that the corporation has. That's as an institution. And to the students, to give the opportunity to the students to access to an education, and to be honest, a very different educational model that cares for the students and provides quality of education with affordable prices. What type of students we are looking, since we are a new university, to be honest, we do not have 20 years or 30 or 50 years of on the market. We are looking for the students that are very committed to their studies. Why? Because I was saying only 60% of the students graduate. We want more than that. Currently, we have more than 94 students graduating. So we want to have that trend. We have less than 8% of withdrawal on the year. So we want that. We want students that they receive a scholarship, that they receive some access to our program, and we want them to finish. We are going to be helping you through the entire. It doesn't matter if you don't have a scholarship or if you do have a scholarship, you're online on campus, you're going to have available all the services and you will be able to finalize your study. But it's up to you because we're going to give you all the services and that's up to you. We want committed students.
Thank you. Liz is asking us, what are you looking for in the essay part to impress you and to get admitted? So I would say what you need to stand out. I probably guess you receive a lot of applications, so it must be competitive to get in. So what to stand out?
As I was mentioning, I like to hear the story. I like, to be honest, we can notice when you are submitting an essay or when you're submitting an application, we can notice if you just copy paste that from Google. Don't do that, please. Don't do that because that's a no. You're entering an academic program with a copy paste. No, we want to make it simple. We want to hear why you are studying this. And as I mentioned, what are you going to give back to your community? Since we are coming from different parts of the world, what are you going to go back and give back? That's the main component. We want to know your dream, specifically what you want to achieve. So when you tell us your story, your unique story, that's something that got our attention. But if you go and you look template, Google template, essay application, that's not something that we're gonna like get interested in. So it can be one page, but if you let us know who you are, why you want to study, and what are you gonna give back to your community, that's something that is gonna caught our attention.
Perfect, thank you. Someone is asking if is needed still to send the criteria evaluation fee. So in the presentation, you mentioned about an application fee, and they're asking if it's also needed a criteria evaluation fee.
I think it's only one application fee, and it will depend on the if you want to have a transfer evaluation fee, and it will depend if you're going to transfer credit. Again, it's going to depend on each case, but yes, the application fee, it's mandatory for local and international students. And also it will depend on what you are going to ask on your admission part. So that's why I always, when I do these webinars, I always say it's every individual case. So if you want to have a specific follow-up, write to our advisor, and I know that they're going to get back to you as soon as possible. And they're going to connect with every person involved, and they're going to give you any answer specifically to your case.
Thanks. Monique is asking us school years. So there was a slide where you mentioned the length of each program. So maybe if we can just remind how long will be each program?
Perfect. So we have 3 terms in a year. We have the bachelor's that it lasts 4 years and the master that lasts 2 years. 3 terms each year. So we have the January one, that is the spring one. Then we have the summer one that starts around May. And then we have the September one that is the fall term. So we have 3 terms in each year, and each term lasts 15 weeks, 15 academic weeks.
Perfect. Another question about if a student apply for the OIS scholarship individually or through the university?
It's through the university.
Perfect. That's great. So we're coming towards the end, actually, of our presentation, and I really like to thank Marisol for the presentation and for staying with us, answering all of your questions, which I have to say there were a lot, but we did our best and we answered almost all of them. So before closing our event today, I wanted to ask Marisol if there was anything to add. It's very hard to try to summarize such a great opportunity in a webinar. and you did great. And I really like to thank you for the presentation, but I really wanted to ask if there was anything that you wanted to add, an advice or something that you think needs to be remarked.
Yes, I have more than 20 years advising students, and I have seen a lot of cases. I have talked to parents, students, graduate students, moms, dad, everything. So what I always say to these students, even though they maybe do not choose MIU, it's please look and analyze your option. That's very important. Remember, the educational, in the university system asks for that, because every university can offer programs, every university can offer credit, professor, but the support that they are going to give you through 4 or 2 years, it's very important. You want to be a person, a student, you want to give, you want your name remembered. So our professors remember you, your tutors remember you. So this is your time, this is your dream, and this is your money. So I cannot like highlight like big, choose wisely. Ask for the support system that the university has, because you're going to spend 2 years or 4 years in one program. You want to be, you want to end that. You want to be part of the 60%, in our case, more than that 90%, more than 90% that finished that. So we do believe that we have a good system. We have a support system that reflects on the Net Promoter Score. We have one of the best Net Promoter Scores between our students. That means satisfaction, and they can relate and can refer the university to different students. We have a support system. You are assigned to a tutor, you are assigned to your professor, you have everything. I receive personally, the academic director receive reports weekly of how you are doing. So, and this is not going to end once we have reached 1,000 and 1,000 students. No, this is the system that we do believe, that this is the system that ProEduca has, and now MIU is joining the team. So that's what I want to say.
Thank you, Marisol. And I also have to say that we just received a very nice comment from Michelle, who says that was very informative and would love to extend my gratitude for MIU for the prompt response and guidance through my application process. So these students started the application process in May and almost completed. So they say in 5-star to the guidance and support. So this is great to hear. So thank you, Marisol, for the presentation. All of you for staying connected, and watch out your inbox, because we will be sending you an email after this event. In the chat, you can see very useful information. So you have Marisol's email address, you have MIU's admission website, which I'm also going to post again into the chat, and the info@MIU University email address. So the team will be available for any sort of question. As Marisol said, each of you has a different story, background, so it will be great if you can send an email so they can evaluate your situation. So thank you so much. And I really like to extend the thanks from Doc City to Marisol, and we look forward to seeing you soon at the next live webinar of Marconi International University.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And bye-bye from Miami.